Welcome to our ASMR Tammy and the T-Rex podcast. Making mouth noises and, touching your ear.
I mean...
Not unlike a dinosaur hand made of rubber touching your ear.
Yeah. Picking you up off of the ground, brushing your shoulders off gently, giving you a little massage, like going into your head, just like... Look at those.
That there was not a dino massage scene just kind of get behind.
I'm kind of surprised there wasn't with the way that things went.
Let's start a recording in Audacity.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
He's still alive.
What are you talking about?
Michael! Michael's brain is inside of the dinosaur.
I'm a dinosaur man, a prehistoric dude, king of the jungle, coming after you. I'm a T-Rex on the prowl, a reptile on the move. Better watch your step, I'm coming after you.
Stupidest idea I've ever heard of.
Recording in Audacity.
Recording in Audacity.
Right. Recording on Audacity.
Thank you, Ryyudo.
There we go.
Hey, we have Ryyudo on the podcast today. I have no idea what it means. I don't know how to start this one. I don't know how to do this one.
Look, when you go to the masseuse and they break out the little rubber T-Rex hands or like those little rubber claws with the T-Rex head on the end of it, you're in for some good massage. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And it always leads to dinosaur fucking. You can tell by the way someone walks afterward, though.
Wait, does it? Wait, am I missing out? I need to go talk to my masseuse. This is bullshit.
Why would you admit not having sex with the dinosaur? I don't get it.
This is already a disaster. This is why Boix always makes me edit the ones with guests. This is exactly what happens. I've done every...
That's not true.
When did you last do a guest? Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Like 3 weeks ago? I don't know.
No, you didn't. When? No, you did. Okay, hold on. No. Now we're litigating this. You tell me where you did that 3 weeks ago. When was the last guest that you did?
We did, God, what the hell was it?
Yeah.
Dog Soldiers? I edited Dog Soldiers. That was the last guest episode.
Did you edit Dog Soldiers?
Yeah.
I'm pretty
I did edit
sure.
that one.
No. I do even ones. I edited that.
I don't know. We got off on the schedule.
I did 214. I did 214. You did Theater Rex last week. That's 224s this week. That means I do the evens. I edited Dog Soldiers. I 100% edited Dog Soldiers.
I can take credit for it. Anyway.
You can simply just lie. Look, Tommy Tallarico did it. Why can't you, boy?
We're gonna have couples therapy here with Ryyudo.
I can't believe I edited Zooks with Ryyudo.
I can't believe you did that. Yeah, that's what you did.
Because I did
really
do that
can't
one.
actually believe it.
What the fuck are we doing? Tammy and the T-Rex. Welcome to the podcast. This is Rough Cuts. We watch movies and then rate the dogs at the end. There's technically a dog in this film, so it counts. We have Ryyudo here as a guest. Welcome back.
Thank you. Happy to be here. This was a banger.
I woke up, had my zong. I'm all zooked out. I was ready for some Tammy and the T-Rex. So this
Were you ready for it?
I got up, saluted the flag of the man choking out the chicken.
Hell yeah, finally.
Me standing in front of everyone, like, that was all crazy, right? Like, this is all abnormal, right? Everyone thought that? Yeah.
Thankfully, this movie is very normal.
This is a normal film for normal people. As part of buying some things from Vinegar Syndrome, which bless Vinegar Syndrome, because they keep releasing cool shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up Tammy and the T-Rex, which is why we watched a cool movie last episode, in Theodore Rex. So, Tammy and the T-Rex is like a pretty famous B movie, I would say, for its time. In that it was shot very quickly, it was edited very quickly to release it as a PG-13 teen movie.
And it sucks.
And then it bombed horribly. So this is like a classic tale of redemption, I would say, for this type of film.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, because we didn't mention it, I don't think in the mess of this intro.
No.
But our podcast is about when we watch a bad dog movie. Dinosaurs are dogs.
I said there was a dog.
Yoshi's a dog. Therefore, dinosaurs are dogs. Because we've seen the Super Mario Brothers movie. So, we watch that bad dog movie, immediately talk about it, and then rate the dogs at the end. That's it.
Yeah, and there was also a dog in this movie, but
Yep.
There was like
a dog
3
in this
seconds
movie.
of dog in this film. That counts.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get there. I noted it where it was exactly in the movie. I had the impression in my head.
So, pop quiz. The director of this film is Stuart Raffel, which we know, Ilion and I know. I don't know if Ryyudo knows.
No idea.
And I don't know if Ilion knows, actually, now that I'm asking this question.
I've been doing a lot of physical reactions on my side of things for this podcast, which just plays super well for an audio format, honestly.
So, this is the director, and in this case also the writer of this film, but the director of Mac and Me.
That sounds familiar. Why does that sound familiar?
What?
That's the E.T. knockoff, where they
What?
shoot a kid
Yes,
in a wheelchair at the end, and
Yeah,
after
that's the
throwing him
one,
off of a
yes.
cliff earlier in the film. This is the Mac and Me director also writing this film.
Yeah, Mac and Me.
Okay,
the
all of a
movie
sudden
that I
everything
watched
makes
like
sense now.
6 times when I was a kid because I liked
Yep.
when I was 8.
So just to put you in a headspace of where this film's coming from.
Mac and Me is unbelievably bad. Like it's some fucking garbage. They do fucking shoot that kid in a wheelchair though.
They do
shoot
at the
him
end,
real
yeah.
good.
Just point blank. So this
Does
is
that have
also
a dog in
starring...
it?
I was always a
it
sicko, is
did
what
have
I'm
a dog.
saying.
Mac and Me has a dog on the poster art.
It sure
has
does.
so much of a dog. But yeah, so this is also starring Denise Richards from, of course, The Adventures of Dally and Spanky, where everybody knows Denise Richards from.
Yeah.
And Paul Walker from the Fast and the Furious series.
Yeah. Yeah.
As well as a bunch of other actors and actresses you've probably heard of. One of our favorites in this film, actually, was the actress for Helga, who's like
Yes.
evil henchman.
Oh my
That is
God.
Ellen Dubin, who is a fairly active video game voice actor
Oh,
in
okay.
like World of Warcraft, Skyrim, Fallout 4, I think, a whole bunch of stuff, like really
Holy
popular.
crap.
There's also just a ton of other random folks and like weird little side character things you've seen before. I think Sean Whalen, who plays Weasel in this movie,
Yep.
is in a bunch of random stuff that you've probably heard of.
He was familiar, yeah.
He's in Twister, would probably be the
Okay,
most known, or
yeah,
Never Been
yeah.
Kissed, I guess. But
He's got a very... I hate
very
to,
particular face.
I hate to do this to the man, but he's a rat. Like, he's got that rat face.
Some people just have
There's
that
a
sort of
reason why
thing.
he's called Weasel. Like, it's, you know, it's one of those things where they're like, yeah, we're going to nickname him some kind of rodent, sorry. Well, I
Yeah,
can
I'm stuck
imagine
with
that his
that.
repertoire as a character actor has a lot of those credits.
It's really great. But so Vinegar Syndrome found a 35mm cut of, I believe, the Italian cut of the film, which was edited from the PG-13 version that was eventually released. And they restored it, brought back about 6 minutes of video footage, including all the gore and swears. Because the original version also didn't have swearing. They had to dub all the swears over. And they re-released the film. And I think what is a perfect state, from what I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't look like it was chopped together or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like sometimes you get like in a special features of a movie where they'll do like, oh, these are like the cut scenes, and you're like, wow, that's like obviously unfinished. Like, that scene's not done. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have all the effects layered on or different things like that. This looks complete. Like, this looks like it could have been released this way.
They also shot new, what was it, commentary? There's a full audio commentary
okay.
with the director and
Oh.
producer you can watch with the film. There's also an interview with the director, an interview with Denise Richards, an interview with Sean Whalen, interview with George Pilgrim, the full cut in the PG-13 format. Like, there's so much extra stuff in this.
Thank you to
that they
Vinegar
shot
Syndrome
for
for
it.
sponsoring this podcast and this
I
little
wish.
ad bit
Right,
that Voix is doing for them.
No, I think that's cool though. For,
No,
like,
it is
the
cool. Yeah,
preservation.
yeah, no,
Like, this
Here's
is
the
all just
thing.
extra shit.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's the thing. Here's the thing: is that they are doing legitimately cool work, and you're right to shout it out. But it's
They're
just very
not-
funny how much.
They're not just releasing it as
No.
a special edition with funny art and then saying pay us double the price. Like,
No, they're not just upscaling it with some like AI
Yeah.
upscaler and then sending it out. They're
Right.
actually doing work with the reels, like they're shooting new, like you said, new commentary, and it feels seamless. And okay, so none of us have seen the original Tammy and the T-Rex,
the PG-13 cut,
right?
No.
Yeah.
Just triple checking that.
Mhm.
I don't know how that movie could have worked. Having
I don't
seen
think it
the
did.
gore cut, I don't.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
that
it
it
doesn't
didn't
sound like
work.
it
That's
did.
the thing.
Like, hearing people talk about it, I don't think it did. Like, this is one of those movies that gets played on YouTube videos of like, hey, look at this pile of shit, and then everybody like laughs about it for 40 minutes. But the actual film, as it's supposed to be, I don't think it is a pile of shit. I think it's just good and fun.
Yeah.
Yo, check this
It's-
pile of shit. It's more. Yo, check this shit. Is what it's.
Yeah,
like.
check this shit. Yeah, check this shit out. Pause
I
it.
think
God.
this is also technically Denise Richards' like first starring role in a
Oh.
film. Her first like
Oh.
main role, like top
Yeah.
billing of a movie,
Mm-hmm.
which
I
is
will-
interesting.
I will say, I actually think so. Denise Richard gets a bit of a rap for
Mhm.
her acting skills, and I would say in this movie that I think that everybody is perfectly cast and does an
Yes.
incredible job
Yeah.
of their characters and what they're going for. And what they are going for is absolute trash.
Like everyone
Yeah.
immediately feels like they're in on the joke, and you just start seeing like caricatures like starting to build throughout the movie. Like halfway through, we talked about her earlier, Helga just decides to develop that she has a blood fetish halfway through the movie and just sticks
Yeah.
with it the rest of the
It
time.
just keeps escalating as it goes on.
yeah.
And that's because they shot this over 2 weeks. So like the whole time, the director is walking up to them and be like, hey, is this a good scene? What can we add to this? What do you think would be funny? And all the actors are just like all in on it. Like, oh, this is going to be hilarious. Let me do this. Right?
Yeah.
Like you can tell they're workshopping it as they're doing it.
It feels like 4 or 5 different films, but in a positive way, in that they're just like, it's the plot is absolute nonsense. None of it makes sense. The villains have no motivation. None of that matters because this is it. This is not like an action movie. This isn't really a drama. This is pure comedy. Like, and it's meant to be comedy. It's not like
It is.
This isn't one of those like, oh, this is a B movie that accidentally is good. This is like, oh, we understand schlock and we are just gonna put out some unbelievable, like, we're just gonna put a kid's brain in a dinosaur and then he goes on a rampage and people are gonna make sex jokes and he's gonna rip people's heads off and we're just gonna fucking go for it, man. And they just that's what they do.
Let's talk about that a bit. So the dinosaur,
Mm-hmm.
the quintessential
yes.
T-Rex, is an animatronic. So the director knew a guy who was just transporting this to some park in Texas. And he had a couple weeks between when he had ownership of it and when he needed to drop it off. So he just walked up to the director or called him or something. He's like, hey, I have this T-Rex. It moves its eyes and mouth and it's articulate. Do you want to use it for a movie? I don't have to give it back to somebody for a couple weeks, so we could use it.
Yeah.
So then he's like, yes. And just rushed to make this thing. He spent like a week writing the script apparently, and then just kept rewriting it as they shot it. They saved money shooting this too because they didn't have time to go to locations and everything. So every location is within a 20 to 25 minute drive of the director's home. like the hospital, the morgue, the outside like park areas. It's all within a 20-some minute drive.
Well, we were pointing it out because they have the villain has a warehouse that he's just making an animatronic / biological. They kind of just switch that up as to what the dinosaur actually is multiple times. Sometimes
it's not important.
Yeah, like sometimes it's an actual dinosaur. Sometimes it's like a mechanical one they're sticking his brain into. They're like, whatever, it doesn't fucking matter. But the warehouse
also,
that
I'll
he's
disagree. It is very important, and we'll note that later.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But like, it's important when it's important, and it's not important when it's not important.
Yeah.
It's the movie that doesn't care about the details, and they don't matter. But like, inside of the surgery warehouse, like kind of scene that they're doing all this brain surgery on, it is very obviously like just a soundstage kind of thing. They have like marks on the floor for the actors. Like they have like lines, like they're just filming over it. They're just like, fuck it, whatever. Who gives a shit?
Right?
It's so good. Like they have the lines for like, here's where like the studio ends, and they're just like, oops, that's in the movie.
Yeah, we're alive. It's fine. It's how it's supposed to look.
It's just supposed to look like this. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah,
and it works. Like it's not a lazy thing. It's we're on a really tight schedule. We're on a budget, and that doesn't matter for what we're trying to do, because like it's what they're trying to do is have fun, and they do. It starts out with I guess we should talk about the actual movie where
let's start.
Things go.
Oh, whatever that is.
It starts out with Denise Richards in high school, and she's like in class talking with another guy, and her new boyfriend comes up, and it's Paul Walker.
I think it's cheerleading practice.
Yeah, it was cheerleading.
Yes.
Yeah. And from the SAS sign,
because the SAS.
Ryyudo.
The studio's advocating safe sex.
It's about safe sex. This movie's about safe sex. In case you were
Which, by the way, is right behind the sluttiest looking Paul Walker you could possibly see.
Do you want to describe his fit?
His nice,
God.
His perfectly crop top. That's like a sweater of some sort, showing off his beautiful midriff. Also, it looks like he found it like out of a dumpster that's been in there for like 2 weeks and just kind of popped that thing on. Supposedly he got out of football practice, but that means that he was wearing that for football practice. There's a lot of questions there.
There's a lot, because he takes off a uniform. So it's like, wait, but how is the underside of it dirty?
What?
Why is the underside of it so like nasty?
You live like this?
Bitch, what are you doing? Yeah. But he's sucking it up behind her, and then of course he takes her outside kind of thing. They're having their conversation, and him being the poor, orphaned, bullied captain of the football team immediately gets accosted by a group of like 20 goth nerds.
I'd say they're more punk.
They're more punk. Okay, but the punk
like
nerds,
a mishmash.
that like, obviously the popular cool kids that pick on all of the poor.
I can't believe all these punk rock fucking assholes are just taking down the poor little white football quarterback.
It's such a weird flip of the regular thing, and their fight is
they get into like a WWE wrestling match on the lawn of the school,
which is accurate for high school fights at first. Yeah,
because they're doing like elbow drops and shit.
And it's just like there's no finesse to it. They're all just they're just grabbing each other and just kind of throwing, and they're just going for it. Which that's high school fighting.
So then the punk bully Billy grabs our main character Michael's cock, just grabs it and starts twisting.
No hyperbole.
The old dick twist.
The old dick twist comes out.
And then Michael's like, "Oh yeah."
And we know canonically that Michael's dick is huge.
That is
legendary.
So often.
This movie is so goddamn horny, you have no idea.
But so then Michael grabs the punk guy Billy's dick, and then they're just in a dick grabbing match. Like it's like a Mexican dick off or something.
And they ain't not letting go for this goes on for 45 seconds before anyone intervenes.
The cops have to be called to get them to break up their dick grabbing contest.
And they're doing a terrible job because they're still grabbing each other's dicks in front of the cops.
The cops literally have to pry them apart from their dicks, like by going like, okay, on 3, we're gonna pull them apart from their dick twist. 1, 2. Like,
This sounds like we're making this up as a joke. Or
Yeah,
something.
it really does. And the big twist of that fight, Paul Walker's dick was never being grabbed. He had a cup on. And like this sends Billy into like a violent rage, like, oh fucking yeah, oh, I'm gonna kill you. Ah! Like
I thought I was
and,
grabbing your dick.
I've been fooled. Ah!
well, he was fooled because it's known, again, canonically, that Michael's dick is incredibly big and always hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
true.
Which we
just
get
like
to
that.
when he, we have a
Oh,
problem
man,
with that
yeah,
later.
That scene, yeah, there's that
There's
scene.
some stuff later.
But it cuts from them fighting to like a mad scientist in a movie theater warehouse
Yes.
with his animatronic dinosaur, and they're like testing out the animatronic that they just got from some guy who needs to drop it off at a place in Texas in 2 weeks, and they're lifting up a barbell to test the animatronic strength, and it can lift very heavy things, like maybe 85 pounds of weights
Yeah,
if you're
allegedly.
lucky. Yeah.
And
Hey, listen,
actually,
they
this
gotta
might be a-
return this animatronic. They can't do too much with it.
But
And I
there's
mean, I don't know if
also...
you're gonna get...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, there's also there's the scientist, there's Helga, who's his sexy sidekick, I guess.
Yeah.
Assistant. And then there's also computer guy
Mhm.
Yeah, computer
Uh,
guy.
and Val Kilmer, his muscle man.
Yes. God, yeah, that is Val Kilmer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just a goose. Iceman.
So
He's doing all the important stuff, like, how do we test this dinosaur like capabilities? Well, we should throw an entire barbell into its mouth. Hey, strong errand boy, come on and lift this barbell and toss it into his mouth. Oh, take this plank of wood, toss it into his mouth. That's what they have him there for. They just want him to throw stuff in. I love him.
he's just a sexy muscle man, and you know
Yeah.
what? That's all you need.
That's
Well, he
all
also
you need.
he also is a black belt.
He is a black
that is
belt.
true.
That's
He is a
true.
black belt. This comes not at all important, but also very important.
That's true. That's true. So, I guess what happens next? So, Tammy calls over Michael on her
Yes.
ancient fucking grandma phone.
Well, she dials the switchboard first.
Yeah.
It's
That's the contact
literally-
operator, as you said.
It's literally a rotary phone.
Well, it's not just a rotary phone. It is like turn of the
It's like a
ornate-
1920s rotary phone.
Yeah, like it's very, very, very stylized. Like, yeah, just over the top, ridiculous stuff.
And it
So-
has like a candle next to it too, as well. So it looks like she's actually like in the like dark ages, basically.
It's such a weird prop choice.
It's almost one of those phones, like it's one step removed from the phones where they would have like the cup that you put to your ear and then you lean
Oh, yeah.
over to the mouthpiece. Like it's
know-
really close
It's
to that.
one
It's
step,
it's
yeah.
like less than a decade out from that. It is
I think-
wild.
It almost would have been funnier to have a cup with a very long string or
Yes.
something.
Yeah, they almost could have done that.
It's
I think that
almost
it's a little too early in the film because at this point I feel like at this point in the movie, I was like, man, this might like, is this maybe good? Or do they actually know what they're doing? And like we're
How much are
kind
they
of
taking the
twigging
piss
into it.
yet?
And I think that
Yeah.
like honestly the slow buildup of wait, no, they know is like better than them just immediately diving in, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
'cause,
true
like-
reveal of the movie is when you realize everyone's in on this joke.
Yes, because at first it's like, wow, this is garbage, and then you slowly go, oh, they know it's garbage.
Yeah.
Because
so-
she calls him
she
for
calls-
a booty call.
And then Billy
and
runs
she's
over.
like she's been crying this entire time. She's really broken up with that.
She's
kid fight.
crying, and Billy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get laid." Oh man. And so he like rushes out the door, rushes back to grab a condom, rushes out the door.
Oh God,
Sass,
yeah, I forgot
baby,
they actually
sass.
showed that,
Safe
yeah.
sex. It's important to have safe sex. And then as he rushes over, I guess like, what was it? Some of the punk girls that were part of the bully
like
team
two punk girls. Yeah.
see him climbing up the terrace to her window, like
Yeah, the
fucking
trellis
Romeo
or
and
whatever the hell I think it's
Juliet or
called.
something.
Yeah.
It's the '90s. That's what they did.
I guess it's like a sitcom setup or something.
Yes.
And so then they call Billy, And later on, after I guess they were kissing on the bed and spooning for an hour or something.
He's got a really good response time. He lives next door.
He was just there fast. Like, what? You said what? I'm there. I'm on my way.
But literally, a group of punks, like 20 of them, just show up at the door,
Mm-hmm.
and they bust the door down almost as like the dad's answering it.
I don't think it's almost. I think they really do. They like kick the door in, and the mom's like, "Oh, Bill, you should just call the police. Why aren't you? You should just do that." And he's like, "No, honey, it's okay. Listen, kids will be kids." Like, it's very the parents of Denise Richards are
They're
some of the
so
wild.
dumb.
Like,
They're so bad.
they're so downplayed with the insanity that's going on that it's this weird dichotomy that at first I didn't think they get, and then I was like, oh no, this is actually hilarious. Like, because they underplay everything in like
Absolutely everything.
yeah, like, oh, you know, this is just high school stuff. And there's like 30 punks with baseball bats and knives and like crowbars and stuff racing up through his house, like smashing shit and going, "Rah!" Like they're in the Warriors. And this dude's just like, I don't know, you know, kids will be kids.
And like,
Should
on
we
top
do
of that
something
as
about
well,
this?
Yeah, like, and Billy is like, his style of taking his character on is very over the top, yelling at all times of the day and just dropping out as many fuck words as he possibly can. So there's this very intense guy busting through the front door, yelling fuck all the time, and storming up to his daughter's room, and he's kind of like, you know, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they'll be fine. So Billy jumps out the window and runs off. Or not Billy, Michael. Michael jumps out the window.
Paul Walker.
Yep. And then Billy and all the punks run after him and essentially run him down with their cars.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
Ryyudo
so they
found a really funny thing in this scene, actually.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah,
'cause they were
yeah.
all exiting. Yeah, because they're all exiting the houses. Like, there's one Jeep that is leaving, and there's just a guy behind the Jeep. I thought he fell out for a second, but then we kind of realized, like, oh wait, yeah, he's coming away. But you kind of like realize, like, oh, he has a walkie-talkie on him. He's probably one of the crew people, just like sending off the cars, the timing, and he's kind of realized, I'm in the shot. Let's go. He's like a little beetle, just like.
I love when that stuff makes it through.
I
in a film.
love that stuff. It's so good.
So they knock him out with a bat, throw him in their trunk, and drive off. And Billy does the one thing that makes perfect sense. He drives into the center of town. You know, it's like a pretty big city, I assume.
Yeah,
like they went from the suburbs to the city, so they go into the wildlife park in the middle of town, where they just release lions and panthers and jaguars and everything to just roam around freely.
Yeah, of course.
I guess.
Well, you live in Seattle.
I mean,
That's what I've.
Yeah.
You heard about like the chop zone, right? That's what it was. They just let all the animals.
I can't believe
They
so
burned down the
director-
center of Seattle and just made it into a fucking lawless wildlife park full of tigers and panthers. If you
I
just go to
guess.
middle of Seattle, you're gonna die.
The director's
Right,
like,
that's how you keep
we
the
need,
rent down. You take the population down.
we need a lion in this movie. Like, what are you talking about? It's the fucking T-Rex animatronic brain movie. Why do you need a lion?
And
Because
the
it
thing is, you
rules.
said they got this overdone in 2 weeks. They secured a lion, a panther, and a cheetah in under 2 weeks and let them rock as part of this movie. I'm actually legitimately impressed.
They beat him up. They make him beg to like he has to like apologize kind of thing to the bully. Like they make him like say sorry kind of thing. They're like, yeah, well, you leave my girlfriend alone. And he's just an abusive piece of shit. He's a total fucking asshole. And you know, they're like, all right, well, that's your last warning kind of thing. See you later. And they drive off. And then they're like, ah, ha, ha, he doesn't know that he's about to get murdered by some lions.
It's the most ridiculous. So then he gets murdered by some
He
lions.
gets murdered by some lions. Like, they
lions.
maul Paul Walker. Like, I'm surprised. Like you said, Ryyudo, did they set this up in 2 weeks? Because it's one of those things where you think
This
that
was
they would...
2 weeks. Yeah. And supposedly some of the crew actually got hurt by the animals.
I can
So-
imagine because like they actually go for it. It's not like, oh, you know, here's a cut of like our actor running away and then a different shot of a lion on its own. It's like, no. There's a lion that runs and lunges and jumps on this man, throws him to the ground and starts mauling him. And I don't know how much of that was faked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, point being, Michael gets sent to the hospital.
And now the movie starts.
And Tammy's there, along with their good friend Byron. we haven't mentioned.
Oh yes, we haven't got to talk about Byron yet.
Byron's so good. I love Byron in
so
this movie.
good.
He's their gay friend, basically.
Yeah, they're gay black friends. So he's filling
That
two
too.
side
That too.
roles here of like being the supportive side character.
Yeah.
Yep.
And his fits are on point. I mean, everyone's fits in this movie are
Everybody-
actually pretty on point.
People
but,
change like outfits every scene. It's
yeah.
ridiculous how many costumes there are in this film.
Yeah, and like amidst all of that, he is like probably the best dressed consistently throughout the entire film.
Easily.
I think he
it's
has some
not
of the best
close.
lines too. He's very funny.
He's a
Yeah,
really
he's
funny
good.
character. And
I also-
the actor
I
sells
like-
it really well.
Yes.
The actor sells it, and I don't feel like it's punching down as a character, surprisingly.
No. Shockingly, actually, when you put it
Somehow.
out, like, that was so easy. That would be such an easy beatdown between a black caricature and a gay caricature. And they did not make many. They didn't make any jokes, I think, at his expense, and he really just kind of
No.
half snapped it on his own. But
They,
like, it
they do
was
make jokes
done
at his
well.
sheriff dad's expense, but also he's a cop,
Yeah.
so fuck him.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Like I really
Yeah.
when they first introduced him in the beginning, my immediate reaction, like B movie black gay side character, I went
Yeah. Oh boy.
Could be
I'm
bad.
Just gonna
like
wait for
I
it to
was
happen.
recoiling from the screen, waiting for things to happen, and they just don't really go there. Like they have jokes about like there's
race jokes.
there's
There
a
are,
there's
but-
some jokes about his character and about
Mhm,
like him being gay in a way, but it's not done in a way that it's disrespecting him, right? Like in that
No.
sense.
Right. He has the power in all those conversations.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, exactly.
He's making
Yeah,
the
yeah.
joke as part of the character. Like after you gotten to know him, it's like this fits in with your character. You're not just saying it just to get a joke out. This
Mhm.
once again, like you said, they were kind of writing the script along the way, and that felt like that was probably his idea to make that joke at that time, and it works shockingly well.
Yeah, like it's not, they don't have anything that's really at his expense in that way. So it's really surprising in that side of things. But yeah, so they're in the hospital, and the scientist man and his nasty sidekick, who just keeps getting nastier throughout the film, Helga, she just goes on a fucking roller coaster ride through this movie, but the roller coaster is only down. Her character just goes into a fucking pit, and I
so
love
funny.
her for it because she shows
so
up
good.
and he shows up and he's in like just a doctor's coat, just over like jeans and a t-shirt, smoking a cigarette in the middle of this hospital, and she's beside him with a bra that it feels like they basically took a wire bra and cut the top of the fabric off to show more of her breasts.
and like open up her shirt all the way, so it just
Yeah,
shows.
right.
Yeah, it's very
It
goofy.
literally looks like Daphne's dress from Scooby Doo, and they just cut a hole in the center of where her
Yeah.
breasts are, and that's
Yeah.
just what they went with that.
And they come in and they're like, we're gonna take it over as care now. See ya. And they like kick the regular doctor out, and he's like, yeah, whatever, I don't give a shit. So they go in and they start like talking. The doctor, fake doctor, starts talking to Denise Richards and
Tammy.
Tammy, yeah, of course.
Yes.
And Byron. And there's also Uncle Bob there, who's passed out drunk. The guardian, the only living guardian for Michael. And he's talking to them to distract them as Helga leans over and starts like doing things with Michael, pretending like she's adjusting things. And what she's doing is disconnecting the like heart rate monitor to make it look like he flatlines. And then she just like gets really up on him, like giving him mouth to mouth as the doctor guy starts screaming and like pounding his hand into his chest, like trying to get him to come back to life, quote unquote. And he does that for like all of 3 seconds, and he goes, well, anyways, some you save, some you don't. See you later. Wheels him out, and they're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He's like, well, I guess he's dead. Sorry about that. See you later. They just like run at it.
Because Tammy and Byron both pass out
Pass out, yeah.
from him dying,
Yes.
supposedly. So anyway, they're stealing this
I love-
body through the hospital.
One quick thing too is Helga is like
'Cause he's
basically
alive still.
making out with him, trying
She
to
is,
resurrect
yeah.
him. And then the minute that she like leans up from him, she like slyly puts in a couple of pieces of gum to like freshen up.
Yeah.
Really fucking great moment for like just exactly what her character is, just to
Yeah.
get into like
So-
how fucked she is.
But they wheel Myron out. He's in a coma, supposedly.
Mhm.
And then Michael like wakes up as they're trying to stuff him into the car, he's like, "Whoa, wow, what happened? I've been having a dream. Wow, and you were there, and you were there."
Yeah, you were there.
And so they try to like drug him to put him back to sleep, but he's into drugs, so it doesn't work.
Yeah, he
So
falls
then-
down and goes back to sleep, and then immediately comes back up and starts talking again.
So then Helga has to just punch him,
Yeah.
knock him out.
Just
It's a
knock him
funny.
out.
I love the Helga punch. It's
Yeah.
so good. So then, anyways, they wheel him over to the warehouse
Mm-hmm.
with their animatronic dinosaur, and they start like just really cutting into his head to get the brain out.
With
In
like
the original
a
cut,
jigsaw, like they,
Yeah, it's
they
like
have a
it's a really gory scene
Mhm.
of the head. It's like a reanimator scene, I would say. In
Yeah, and like blood spouting everywhere, like
What they
like,
were doing.
like Gallagher, like audience member or something like that, and just
Mhm.
smashing watermelons on
Just-
stage. Like it is splattering everywhere. They're going ham with this.
It's like Evil Dead the musical splatter zone.
yeah. I was gonna say this
Yeah.
is a Gore concert level of
Yeah.
gore, just shit just spraying absolutely everywhere.
And
legitimately, honestly, and this is kind of like the breaking point of the movie.
Mhm.
Of like the gore, like that. Now this is in this version specifically, not the PG-13 version. So this is here.
Mhm.
Sells it, and it actually looks pretty good, all things
Yes.
considered. Like they're not cutting away from the details when they're going with like a scalpel. It's like, oh, you see it press into the skin, you see the blood
Yeah.
come out. It's like, no, that actually gave me a little bit of a squint.
all
I'm
the
like,
stuff with
oh,
the head
wow.
prop looks so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, when
They
they
did
cut his head
great.
open, like they have this scene where they show the fake head from in profile after they've cut him open, and they have it where like the top of the head and the rest of it are on different levels, if that makes sense. Like it's slightly out of alignment, which like looks so nasty and really well done. Like it's just great. There's so many little details like that are well done. And while he's pulling the brain out, he like passes Helga the scalpel, and in the background she just starts going
Like
and
he
just
did, yeah.
licking
Licking
it.
it
Like
up
she
and
just
biting
starts
him.
going on it. Like she goes
pervert.
wilder and wilder with this character the whole movie, and it's just that's when you started going like, oh my god, she has actual bloodlust. Like,
Yeah. And
she's
also,
getting off on it. Like
also Michael wakes up during that, and Helga punches him to sleep
Because,
again.
yeah, second Helga punch as well. Yeah,
Like that's her superpower.
This is also the scene where I had said that we need to go back to how we know that canonically Michael is always hard and
That's
very
true.
big.
Oh yes,
Because
yes.
they trigger all the different parts of his brain, including giving him a massive fucking erection.
Yeah, that thing is
Like,
honking
look at-
here.
Hey, watch this. Boop, boop. And, like a
And Helga's
dick's
like,
popping up.
"Woo."
So anyway, they take the brain out. They test putting it into like some bubbly juice and like hooking up to the dinosaur, and they get it hooked up to the dinosaur. That's whatever. So then the doctor, the mad scientist, leaves and leaves it to his computer guy and his buff like Val Kilmer guy, and they're like,
beef
oh
Burlum.
man,
His
man,
circus
that was a
strongman.
lot of work. I'm hungry. You want to order a pizza?
And
like,
this
they-
is somehow actually really important too.
They just ordered delivery to get a pizza, and okay, so the pizza guy shows up, which is Pedro from Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, it like literally Pedro
Yeah.
from Napoleon
It-
Dynamite.
it's
Not
that
a bit.
actor. Funny thing also, the Helga actress is also in Napoleon Dynamite. So there's
my
two
God.
Napoleon Dynamite connections.
Oh really? Oh my gosh.
But that was his first movie role ever.
Amazing.
Okay.
Was Tammy
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
T-Rex. And so he gets scared off by the animatronics so that the two guys can like not pay $15 for a pizza. And they had a bet on if he would leave or not, I guess. Whatever. So as they're sitting there like eating their pizza and like throwing crusts into the scalp,
This is-
like the top
Empty,
part of
yeah,
the
the
head.
empty skull head. Yeah.
Yeah, they use the top of his scalp as a fucking garbage
Like a
can.
trash
It's so
can.
good.
So-
There's
that
all
is
these
so
little
next
bits like
level.
Like, they just
it builds up so
disrespect
well,
him.
and once again, like you said, it's like the gore adds to that because you're like, now I see where you're all coming from, and if I was out of the movie, I'm like shrugging, like I don't know what you're trying to do. Why are you trying to make this kid-friendly movie seem extreme versus here's this extreme movie, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so Michael in the dinosaur sees this and realizes they're assholes and that he also saw his body next to them. So then he starts walking over and the computer guy's like, what you gonna do? I'm too smart. I know computers. or something.
Well, you're gonna bite my head off?
Yeah, you're not as good as a computer. Well, you gonna bite me? You gonna kill me?
Yeah.
With your stupid
anyway,
human brain and your dinosaur body?
Yeah. You'll never guess what happens next, though.
So anyway, he bites his head off. And then Val walks in. He's like, "Oh my god, you killed computer guy! What the hell? I'll kick your ass. I'm a black belt."
Yes.
Yeah,
This is where canonically he's a black belt. And the gore in this scene is wild.
Oh my
Because,
God.
like, when they bite the scientist's head off, it's very funny because the animatronic hardly moves. Like, it's not articulating a whole lot. So, very much he kind of has to, like, stick his head into the mouth and, like, kind of stand there, which is what most of the kills when they bite the head off is. But then it cuts to, like, behind the dinosaur and, like, so it's got his back, and you see them slowly pull the head off as all these like strands of muscle and gore and stuff like leak out, and blood just pours out of this head, and you're like, holy shit, like they go for it.
That was an eye-opening moment too. And then they cap that off with just letting him run headless forward into like a pile of boxes and pratfall into them. And it's just like
That's
10
so
out of
good.
10 actually. It's really good.
And then
the
they
next
cap,
one,
they capped that off too with having the dinosaur hold a rubber hand to pick its teeth out.
Yes.
Oh yes,
It's a
forgot
joke.
about that. Yeah, he starts like picking his teeth with his little
like-
dinosaur hand.
So anyway, Val Kilmer gets thrown out of a window or a door. And then the T-Rex just steps on him, flattening both his body and head.
Yes.
And
like,
in another really
gushes of gore from
gushing
it. Yeah.
scene. God, it's so good. And then Michael as dinosaur decides, oh yeah, wasn't there a party tonight? I should go to that.
Should check that out.
So there was a lady at a phone right next to the warehouse
the
that
phone,
sees this.
right?
Yeah, the
And
old lady,
she starts, and she sees all this, and she runs away screaming, but not before, as she's finishing up her call, she goes, quick, my lotto number's at 2576, and like slams the phone down and then runs. And then Michael goes over, and I remember Boyce's reaction immediately goes, no, no, no. Like, and I'm like, yes. Like, you're like, they can't. And they show like the dinosaur
Rubber
puppet
dino.
hand start dialing the numbers. And it's like, you have a collect call from... And she's like, Denise Richards is on the other line, is like, Michael? Like, the line just hangs up. Like, shit, I can't talk, I'm a dinosaur. I'll
What a
go
good
crash the
bit.
party, it's fine. And this
What
is
a
where I was
good
like,
bit.
okay, wait, they know what they're doing. Like, that was...
Yeah, it
this is
finally clicked.
This is the turning point of the movie where, like, for a while there, you're like, this is kind of funny. Do they kind of get it? And then it was like, oh yeah, no. Yeah, no. Every actor, the director, like everything involved in this, they're like, yeah, no, let's just fucking have fun. And they just they go for it.
Yes.
The party scene has a ton of kills.
Oh yeah.
too.
They
Like
have a ton of everything in that party scene.
they slash the guts out of Weasel. They grab that one lady. Oh my god, the car
No, hold on.
sex scene is
Yeah, I was gonna
so-
say car sex scene.
so
Dude, who
funny.
wants to handle the car sex scene? Should we give it to Ryyudo?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can
Oh
take
my
that
God.
one.
'Cause you
So
mentioned
we
it,
have,
so.
so we have Billy. He's going back to the party and everything like that. There's a lady who's just down bad for him, takes him away, everything like that. Weasel's not invited very clearly, even though he's trying, but fine, okay.
Can't go to their threesome, yeah.
Cannot go to the threesome. So
movie's
they're having
so
sex in the
horny.
car. Yeah, legs up, she's screaming her head off type of thing, and she's like, oh. And as the dinosaur starts to approach, she starts creeping in. He's face down, facing her missionary style. She's face up. And so she sees the dinosaur overhead, and then she starts really screaming, actually. And then Billy, in response, is like, yeah, I am good, right? I'm damn good. Tell me how damn good I am. As he's trying to pound her harder.
So dumb.
Anyways, yeah, we have the dinosaur is going to eat her out as he picks her up by the leg and just lifts her up out of the car.
Yeah, the dinosaur is
kills her
literally
too.
biting her leg as he's fucking her, and she's just
my
like
God.
screaming, and Billy's like, "Yeah, I'm the best, baby." And it's like, well, no.
Oh my god. So,
No, man.
so then, like, some other people get stepped on, like, one by one. Billy runs over to a tent and is like, "Oh my god, there's a fucking dinosaur!" And then his head gets ripped off from off screen, like from above,
and it looks great again.
Yes.
And a bunch of people in the tent get stepped on. And then as the dinosaur is walking over to Byron, who fell down trying to escape, dinosaur just like, "Hey Byron," picks him up, dusts off his shoulders, like, "Hey man."
It literally dusts his shoulder off.
Actually, there's just one more part about that dino scene that I want to talk about that
Yeah.
just still is slaying me to this point here, where people are running away and the dinosaur's just around the corner and you see the little dino like toe leggy just step out and just trips a bunch of people. No reason.
Yes,
doesn't kill
like
them.
funny
Just trips
trippy.
them.
Oh
Trips
shit!
them.
Oh fuck!
It's like,
There's
why
also
did you do
there's the
that?
two guys that
prank.
hide under the car too. That he like,
Oh
steps
yes,
on.
yes.
It's like the
Everyone will
characters
see
are
us
just
dying.
like, "Oh no, let's go under the car so he can kill us there." Wait a minute.
Yeah, it goes on the
What
car,
are you talking
he
about?
jumps on it, and they have
Yeah,
like
he
these
just jumps
really
on it.
awful crushing deaths for them.
Oh
We
my
could
God.
sit here and talk about this scene for
It's so
the
good.
20
entire
minutes.
time.
They shot
Like,
this
yeah.
whole scene in like 1.5 nights, I think, is what they said.
Which is
And-
still bonkers.
It's so much work for that scene.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's insane. The craft of this film is actually really high, except for the scenes where they show like a little CG dinosaur running with somebody on them. But other than those, so anyways, all this shit happens. It's a massacre, and the dinosaur runs away. And then the cops show up finally, because you were saying this whole scene, like, where are the police? What is happening?
Well,
And then they
also,
show
like,
up.
The kids have literally murdered inside of the universe now.
Yeah,
Everybody believes
too.
that these high school punks have beaten a man with bats, thrown him to lions, and got him mauled to death. And they're still just going to school and parties. Like, what is happening?
It's great. It's great. But the cops show up. They're like, "Oh, there's a body. Ooh, that one's bad. Oh man. Whew. Wow, they really got that guy." They're like eating popcorn.
Yeah,
the
they're
whole
eating
time.
popcorn over the dead bodies, and like the sheriff, Byron's dad,
Yep.
the
Yes.
sergeant is like vomiting in the background, and they're like, "Yeah, we go out and hunt deer all the time," and they're like popping in
Yeah.
like blood, they're like picking popcorn off of the dead bodies,
Off the body
eat
to
it.
eat.
Yeah.
You were saying it's very Harvester. It is very Harvester.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a '90s FMV.
But so
yeah.
it cuts from that to the scientists and Helga getting back to their warehouse, and they see Val Kilmer on the ground, all flattened.
There is one thing that I wanted to mention too, from
Mm-hmm.
with the cops showing up, because there's a really funny line and moment in there.
Oh yeah, there is a
where
scene, yeah.
because Denise Richards is like losing her mind. She's like, "Oh my god, like there's a dinosaur and
No,
and-
it's not
or
Denise.
no,
it
it wasn't
some,
Denise, it was another-
It was
you're
some
right, it was
random
another-
people that were under a table.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
the one
It
who was
was-
trying to hit on Ken, the bartender.
right, because she was under
Yeah.
a dumpster and they flip it over, they
Yeah.
find survivors, and she's
Yeah.
freaking out. And the guys that are eating popcorn at the bar are like, "You're just gonna have to slap some shit out of her, I guess."
She's in shock. You
It's
gotta
like-
slap
and-
the shit out of her.
And he's like, no, I'm just gonna talk to her. And they're like, "Do you want me to slap the shit out of her, Sarge? I can slap the shit out of her."
That's
She's
what
like,
you. That's what you
"No."
do in this situation. You just gotta slap. You know, you gotta. I get it.
And,
She's
and once
hysterical.
again, to like an earlier point that you said, Ilian, is like where you said like everyone who's cast in this movie just hits their characters extremely well. These piece of shit, like completely backwater sounding cops, just nail it every single scene. They got
So
it.
funny.
They're creeps. They're weird. I don't like them. Excellent job. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly. They're terrible.
So
Yeah.
so the body. This whole podcast. The body back at the warehouse. Helga like rolls up and like, "Oh wow, yeah, they got him. They've really flattened him, huh?" And then she just starts like rolling up his body like a carpet.
Yeah.
It's so fucking funny.
So good.
It's so fucking
And then, of
funny.
course, as she's touching the body too, she lets go of it. And then, while she's like listening to the mad doctor, she starts kind of licking her fingers from the blood a little bit too.
little pervert.
Just a little blood pervert, you know.
And it's better because the scientist is explaining the reason that he's going to be doing all this. He finally explains his motivation. He's like, "Well, I will make everyone immortal. They can live in new bodies. And when we make our bodies, don't worry, our dinosaurs will fuck. And she's like licking her fingers from this dead
like,
body.
oh, yeah,
And she's like, oh, that sounds so good. And she's like licking this fucking
don't
gore off
worry.
her
The
fingers.
capitalists will love this idea. They
That's
could be
the other one.
immortal.
Yeah.
And we'll put their dogs inside little robot dog bodies. It'll be great.
Yeah.
They'll pay us so much money for this.
Yeah. Like she's like, well, won't people care about your crimes? She's like, no, they won't. They're capitalists. They'll only care about money.
Like,
What a
how
line.
dare you be correct?
Oh my god. So then Michael in T-Rex form abducts Tammy from her window, grabs her from the window.
Mm-hmm.
There's a funny scene here where he's like getting closer to the house and she's like putting on makeup and everything's shaking and she's like, hey, stop that. It doesn't look
She
at
just
all.
puts like her hand on the mirror like, hey, cut it out.
This did come out after Jurassic Park, so that's literally just a Jurassic Park joke.
Yeah.
But it's funny they do that. So then Michael takes Tammy to a barn, I think, or somewhere out in the country. And he starts doing charades to tell her that he's Michael's brain in an animatronic T-Rex body.
Yeah.
Which is very stupid. This seems very dumb.
Especially Ryyudo talked about, there was 2 lines from Ryyudo that were really good in this. Like, we need to get a still almost of, at one point, the dinosaur is like kind of half 90 degrees turned away from the camera, but the arm that they have, like as a puppet arm, is forward, like brushing something out of her hair or something. And it's just like, you need to draw outside of the scene how the arm is, because like this little T-Rex arm is just going and going. And then also, I'm going to just put it in because I think that your line is amazing. But she kind of starts getting down with him. Like, she's like, oh, it's Michael. Like, yeah, okay, I'm into this.
No, it's okay. They kept my penis.
Yeah. Said it was remarkable. They call me Tyrannosaurus Sex.
What? Where'd the hand go?
Okay, what do you got right there?
Fucking killed me.
So
And then...
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm just saying, after... Well, I might not hit it, actually. You just go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, okay, so, you know, we made that joke and everything like that, and they're in the barn, and so we pull up to the next scene where the doctor is pulling up to the house and everything like that, and Tammy is walking back and from, like, the backyard, stuff like that, and the doctor's looking out, and he's like, she's seen the dinosaur, and Helga's like, how do you know? You can tell by the way she walks.
Yes.
It's like, oh, she did fuck the dinosaur.
Oh, she hit that.
Definitely fucked the dinosaur.
Which comes back to the question about, is it a actual dinosaur or is it a mechanical dinosaur? Because if it's an actual dinosaur, well, how did you fucked an actual dinosaur that was conveniently, you know, bio at that point? If it's a mechanical dinosaur, why does it have a legendary penis on top of it as well to fuck with? There's just a lot of questions about this dinosaur. That
Anatomically correct
animatronic.
Yeah,
Would
go
anatomic
so
animatronic.
They can make so much money in the furry like sex toy scene.
Those fools, they went too far.
Anyway, so Tammy gets back home. All the cops are there interviewing everybody because of the abduction. And she also meets up with Byron. And she's like, hey, by the way, Michael's still alive and his brain's in a dinosaur. And Byron's like, I know.
Yeah, he picked me up and brushed my shoulders off. Give me a little rub.
I know that. I know that calm touch on my shoulder.
I was gonna say I know the tender embrace of Michael. I understand.
So they come up with a plan to get a body for Michael, so they can put him back in a body. So they're gonna go to the funeral and just get his corpse out of the ground and put it back in there.
I can't believe that I called the joke here, in that like I was like, okay, well his body's been decomposing for a while. They're just gonna like stuff his brain into a decomposing body. Like, what are they thinking? So they jump into the grave after the funeral and pry it open, and there are maggots crawling out of his eyes. Rats start crawling up Denise Richards. She's screaming and crying. They're like, Jesus Christ, what did we do? It's like this rotten decomposed corpses there. It's so fucking
And just
funny.
the funeral scene by itself is really good. Just on like it's comedic in itself by itself, sure. But in the far distance of damn near every single shot, there's just the dinosaur way far in the distance, and you just can barely see it if you're looking for it. And it's just perfect.
It's just
so
a head
funny.
over the hedges of
It's
this
so
dinosaur.
Yeah, just
There's
slightly
also in the
barely.
far distance a group of 4 construction workers that are just like sitting there, just like one with like a shovel, like where he's like got his behind his neck and he's like holding his arms over it, and they're just leaning on it and stuff, and like looking in, watching this fucking. It's like I'm pretty sure that those are people that are just like, are they shooting a movie here?
They were just there for the movie. Yeah, they weren't part of the set. No,
Right.
they were
We
just
need to go
there.
over there, but
Like, we don't have permits to shoot in this graveyard. It's also not a graveyard, and we should talk about the graves for a second because
Oh,
they
yeah.
are-
There's just like little cardboard fucking like Universal monster movie type of grave.
One of them that I made you pause on because it just says bad with a cross, and then the wildest thing about it is the date, because it says 1761 to 1987, which is impressive. I
that's
think.
I think the date was technically on the other grave, but yes.
Maybe.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
It's
is the
very
important part.
wrong. It's not good.
So anyway, the mad doctor, the mad scientist, and Helga show up, and they take Denise Richards, aka Tammy, prisoner. They're like, all right, you have to come with me, dinosaur. You're coming back home, or I'll slit her throat. And then, like, I guess they also knock Byron into the grave at the time,
Yes.
and he can't climb out for some reason. So then Michael in dinosaur form knocks over the scientist into the grave. He knocks over Helga into the grave. Byron's climbing out. Everybody's going into that fucking grave.
We got a hole in the ground, and by God, we're gonna use it.
Exactly.
So they take them hostage. They take the scientist and Helga hostage because they need them to put Michael's brain back into a corpse. But they don't have a corpse. So, of course, they need to get one. So they go to the morgue.
And this is a shopping scene.
It's a shopping... like, they're going to the mall to check out, like, clothes or something. And they're just grabbing bodies to the window. Like, what do you think about this one, Michael?
Yeah, like holding them up to the window for Michael.
Michael's constantly, like, aiming down, like, how's the dick? Is the dick good?
Yeah.
Well, and that's not even... That's canonically true, because this is one of the moments where, like, Byron is sitting there, and they're, like, looking at bodies, and they're like, oh, like, this one's too fat and too old, blah, blah, blah. And then they pull out this one, and it's like, ooh, this guy looking pretty fine. And then he, like, lifts up the shroud to, like, look underneath, and he goes, ooh. And she, like, looks over and she goes, whoa, that's too much for me. And he's like, I don't know, I think that's pretty perfect. And they have this little moment, so like, and that's the gay jokes that they do, which is like,
Actually, yeah, because there was 2 gay jokes in there too. Because
there was,
they first get in there and they have that. They look at one. It's like, oh, well, we have this lady over here. Looks pretty young, and she's like, oh, well, I'm not interested in women. He's like, well, neither am I.
And what?
He's just like,
What do you want?
just zinger. Like, yeah, neither am I.
Like, I'm
damn,
so
that's
glad they
good.
don't punch down.
they
I'm
don't
so
punch down
glad.
on it at all. Those are like just legit kind of funny, like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, like it's kind of a gay joke, but it's totally fine. And yeah, so then they're
But the
holding
cops
these
show
bodies
up
and-
eventually. I think it's because the scientist and Helga get out of the truck, and somebody
They're
saw them
starting to
or
escape,
something.
Yeah,
they
but
run
the
in front
police
of
are
a
coming
cop
for no
car.
good reason,
Well,
though.
they're
They run in front of
they're
a cop.
tied up.
So-
They're tied up and stuff, and they run
Yeah.
in front of a cop car that's passing by. Yeah.
So the cops get called, which is funny because the dad cop gets a call. He's like, "Hey, what's happening? Oh, your son Byron's over here at the morgue again. Ah, fuck, again?
Oh dang.
He's checking out
Ah,
other guys'
shit.
penises for some reason. There's also a moment too that's really funny, where, like, again, it's not punching down. It's just kind of because they pick up a woman at one point to show Michael.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, maybe we will try with a woman, and he goes like,
He thinks about it. He's like, maybe.
kinda like, oh, and I was like, hey, dinosaurs come from eggs, like, like
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
could be.
But he does say no eventually.
Yeah.
So anyway, we get into a police car chase. Which,
Yes.
This movie has everything. With the dinosaur in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're driving off, and Byron's like, hang on to your boobs, girl. It's about to be a bumpy ride.
And she hangs onto her boobs, both hands on the chest. And it's just that level of like really stupid joke that wouldn't work anywhere else in the movie until that one moment. Like everything else was so stupid, you kind of forget you can make the lowest bar joke and it hits.
Oh man, there's so many just dumb scenes like that. But so they drive to as they're escaping, they eventually get to like a river that they can't cross. And so Byron goes to distract the cops as Tammy and Michael are escaping, and Tammy escapes by riding Michael in dinosaur form across the river into the distance. And one of the cops is like, "Damn, that girl can ride."
Yes. One of the nasty hillbilly cops. Yeah.
And it's like once again nails it.
Come on, man. But so like at this point in the film, you're like, "Oh, they ride off into the sunset." That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But it keeps going.
It keeps going.
Absolutely
It keeps going. They could have just ended the film there. So instead, they're hiding in a barn. And Byron rides over on his like sports bicycle in his racing outfit, which is like bright neon red
thing going on. Yeah.
And
looks great once again.
It's a good fit, but the bright neon red was very obvious to the cops that were looking for him.
Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say there was one joke that I meant to say earlier, but it's good. We're good.
Go ahead. No,
there's
go for
so
it.
many.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go right ahead.
But so we mentioned how they the mad scientist and Helga were tied up earlier, and like the cops just leave. They say, "Stay here. We're going off to do our dinosaur thing." And so just like the doctor turns to Helga, and he's just like, "Helga, true my rope." And she just goes like, yeah, okay. And then you see her just start slowly going down like it's a blowjob joke. And it's just like, oh, that's good.
There's so many little things with Helga. Like we glossed over the scene of her doing like sexy food stuff. But with like,
we haven't even talked about
sticks.
that. You're right.
Like she had like
Mozzarella
a deep fried like matzo stick, and she's like, I'm doing it all sexy to the scientist and stuff. Like, there's just like, she is the creepiest, weirdest like sex assistant that he's ever had. They have like him grabbing her boobs at one scene that I can't remember exactly how that joke went, but like. There's so many little bits with her all
the
of
thing
them,
is, I don't think there was a joke there. I think he was just like happy to see her and just popped it on, and that was it. It just
Grabbed her boobs, and that was the scene. Yeah, that was it.
so much.
So anyway, the police obviously show up at the barn,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a big standoff, including the scientist and Helga are there because they want to get their animatronic dinosaur back.
This is our
Right?
property, and we got to return this to a guy in Texas. You can't shoot it. This animatronic's very expensive.
So then Byron and Tammy are like, "Oh God, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna escape? Are we gonna attack them? I should just go out there. My dad's one of those cops. He wouldn't hurt me. He's never done anything bad." Yeah, but has he ever listened to you? No. Never once, actually, ever in my life.
Good point.
Oh, okay. Well, we need something white so that they know that we're giving up. Other than you. You're the whitest person here.
Yeah,
so. Something else, you know.
So they do find something, and they have it on a stick, and it's just a white bra. And then the hillbilly pops is like, that's a brassiere. It's like,
yeah, boobs, am I right?
sex.
Fuck. So then
hillbillies.
they
my
grab
God.
Byron and Tammy, and the scientist and Helga go in to try and tranquilize the animatronic dinosaur. Which is a good question. Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Well, you got a memory upgrade recently, and you know.
Yeah, he does do
I
some
should also-
like fake science
Explaining.
bullshit for it, but it's very just like, it's the stuff. It's a special nanomachine tranquilizer that stops animatronics only. Bye, see ya.
Yeah, we're going in.
He walks in with the gun that killed Shinzo Abe
He did.
tranquilize this
Yeah.
fucking
It's like a 2.0 of that thing.
But he gets scared by some bird, misses. Michael just rips his guts out. So then Helga goes running, leaving after getting splattered in his blood.
Yeah, he spits it out at
on
Helga.
Oh, that's so ridiculous.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't do for half a second she'd be like, ooh. Like,
Oh,
'cause
she'd be like,
honestly,
oh.
she's so into
Yeah.
that kind of thing throughout this film that you're like, Then they don't, which I was a little
But-
surprised at.
So the cops
Yeah.
just blast the dinosaur,
Mhm.
like 20 of them, all just shooting, missing every shot.
Yeah,
and-
because we gotta return this dinosaur in 2 weeks, okay?
Guys, listen. Okay, we can show the bullets hitting the wall of the barn, but none of them can hit the dinosaur. This thing is really expensive. We can't wreck it for this film. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny how much it's like hitting but not hitting the dinosaur.
So then the dinosaur falls over on its side. Tammy runs over. He's like, "No, Michael!" And everybody
she's
in the
acting her
background,
heart out.
she's acting so much, and everybody in the background is just like crying and teary eyed. He's like, "Oh, I didn't
I
mean to
can't
kill
believe we
that
did that.
dinosaur."
I can't believe that it only took me like 60 to 100 bullets to murder this dinosaur. I thought he'd be totally fine.
He's coming right at me. I had to.
And it's like, okay, well, this is now the end of the movie, right? Like this is a natural.
It's got to end on
ending
her
point.
crying, and then it cuts to black.
That makes
right?
sense.
It doesn't
No.
end there though. They have more jokes.
It got more jokes.
Somehow.
So it cuts back to Tammy at home with her parents mowing the lawn. Like her dad's mowing the lawn or something. And she walks in like all ecstatic and happy. You're like, yeah, ooh, wow, I'm so excited. This is my favorite thing, being home.
Like I said, I'm like, she was so tragic over the death of her boyfriend. And then she was like, wait a minute, I'm rich and white. Who cares? Like just dances and skips back home. Like it's just amazing the difference between the two scenes.
And so she goes up to her room and she's talking to this camera, which has Michael's voice coming out of it. He's like, "Hey, baby, hi, I'm home. Oh, you want some more of that stuff? Oh."
And she just has a bottle of whiskey.
A
in the
huge
room.
bottle
Like a
of whiskey.
huge, like a 40
Yeah,
of whiskey just next to her bedside. This teen girl, supposedly.
Allegedly.
And inside her room is Michael's brain. Just in a dish, and she pours the whole bottle of whiskey on. He's like, "Yeah, you like that? Yeah."
And he goes, "Give me more." And she's like, "No, I'm sorry. That your analysts were saying that you aren't adjusting well."
"Don't worry, I have a lead on another body. We'll find one at a morgue soon. But in the meantime, oh yeah, baby." She starts like just getting into sexy outfit and stripping. And this scene, so the original cut of this movie just ends with her saying that. And when she like throws the little thing at the screen, that's when it ended.
Like her stalking, because she's doing a striptease. Yeah.
But in the extended uncut version, it goes all the way. Literally to the point where the brain just comes.
What brain is what base is it when your brain starts throwing off sparks from being in its alcohol sauce?
Yeah, it's alcohol. That's alcohol sauce mixed with the actual brain juice sauce. It's probably keeping them alive.
It's so funny though.
They have
It's
like
so
explosions and sparks coming out of the brain as he's going like, yeah, baby.
Yeah, he literally comes to a conclusion, and the movie ends there.
He does.
So does the movie.
What a film. What a film. So one other thing about Tammy and the T-Rex I didn't mention, there was a video game that came out recently. Unfortunately from the Rick and Morty people, so you know it sucks. But it's called High on Life. It's that game about all the guns that just talk nonstop.
Oh,
constantly.
right.
In that video game, they put Tammy and the T-Rex in full on a television that you could just sit down and watch in the game from start to end.
This now. Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the PG-13 cut or if that's the Vinegar Syndrome cut. I think it's the PG-13 cut because otherwise they would need to raise the rating of the game further. I would assume.
Well, if it's not Rick and Morty people, I just assume it's probably already mature.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously, but but yeah. So this movie is available in a video game. Apparently, which is another weird quirk of this in recent years.
I would say though, absolutely do not watch the censored cut. There's no way. There's no way that it works.
No way.
I can't imagine. Like, think about all of our favorite scenes. Every scene that we were hysterical about is sex, swearing, drugs, gore. Like it. That's
it's
90%
like all the
of the
gags,
movie,
right?
Yeah, it's all the gags. It's most of the movie. Well, I don't know what movie is left after they cut that. You said that it's only 6 minutes.
Different. It's 6 minutes of footage.
Yeah,
but it's like all the context.
Sure,
I would say.
sure. But it's just wild to him. I find it hard to imagine that it's only 6 minutes of footage they cut out because, man, there is so much. Like,
it feels like there's so much there. Yeah.
Like, this is
And,
kind
like,
of like...
ultimately- Okay.
No, it's like a PG-13 cut of, like, Deadpool or something. Like, what are you doing with this then? Like, what the fuck is happening?
It reminds me of the Snakes on a Plane cut, where he's like, I'm sick of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
So much worse than that, even. But, Ryyudo, what were you saying? Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was going to say is, like, because all that's left is kind of those immature jokes and everything like that. And it just comes full circle because, like, you are so almost desensitized by every extreme action this movie is taking that it comes back to those, like, really small jokes that would probably be left in the PG-13 version. And it works just because it is such a contrast with everything else that, like you said, Ilian, it's a full picture, and you do not get that in the PG-13 version. I imagine you cannot get that.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that I think that you're right, that so many of the, like, immature PG-13 kind of jokes actually do work in this version because they're so diametrically opposed to weird, sexy, like, mozzarella stick lady licking blood off of a scalpel in a brain surgery. Like,
in no way is this a teen comedy.
Oh, God, no.
No.
But that's what they tried to market it as when they did that. So
yeah.
Anyways, let's rate the dog. I think it's important that we rate the dog. In one scene when Byron was biking over the barn, there was a dog in like a fenced-in area.
There was
for about 3 seconds.
Yeah.
As he rode by, that counts.
That counts. I agree.
I'm gonna rate that dog as appearing in this movie. It counts.
It looked like that dog was having fun and didn't know it was being filmed. And honestly, that's like everybody else in the background of this film. So
also true.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would I count Michael as a dog? They were talking about animatronic dogs at some point.
Yeah, but like, you know,
he's definitely still human in the head. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're trying to fit way too many human aspects to him that I'm like, I cannot good nature say he's a dog.
Michael's essence is the brain, and the brain is not a dog.
No, the brain's not a dog.
So it's just that dog in the background, and that's a good dog.
I think it's just that one dog, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, honestly, I think just the way, like you said, everyone in the background was not didn't know they were basically being recorded, right? And that scene, honestly, replaying in my head, I think so. The camera was trying to follow Byron in that scene and saw a dog and just went, "Oh shoot!
Oh shit, a dog!" Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah. That's what the scene feels like. It's just like, "Oh, is that a dog? Oh my god, yes!" And for me, that ranks the dog highly because that is pure dog. That's the most dog I've ever seen in a movie.
Also, if I'm using speech to text, I'm using speech to text on my phone, and I see a dog, like, "Oh shit, is that a dog?" And then that'll get caught. And just put into the script. Yeah, no, that's what happens. I get it.
Yeah, that is the most unadulterated dog I've ever seen in a movie, I feel like.
Thank you, Mac and Me director. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome. I guess.
Thank you.
The Mac and Me director thing of this is what's really sending me, because this is a like send up parody of B movies in a way, like it or like a love letter to them. Like, it works as that kind of thing. Mac and Me doesn't. Mac and Me is fucking garbage. It is unrelenting trash. It's boring and it sucks. And this thing is incredible. It is a full 180 from Mac and Me. I cannot recommend this movie enough.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's the episode. Thank you for listening. You can support us on Patreon, of course. We do have patrons that help pay for things, including this Blu-ray player, the extra hardware I used to get past the copyright protection on this Blu-ray player, a copy of Tammy of the T-Rex.
Didn't have to hook up the version. Chinese PAL region.
I didn't have to use the Chinese
one, right?
PAL region one that has fake ports in it. No, I got to use a legitimate Blu-ray.
That was we found that was one of the best ways to strip out some of the problems of different DVDs.
There was like a straight to DVD Sci-Fi Channel movie that just didn't work on DVDs. It was great.
Holy crap.
Anyway, so yeah, the support is appreciated. You can follow us on Blue Sky at Rough Cuts as well. You can email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com.
And of course, what do you got to?
And of course, we
going
have
on,
Ryyudo
Ryyudo?
guesting. Yeah.
Oh, just kind of the normal streaming stuff that I'm doing on my end. I've been checking out all the skating games that came out before Tony Hawk. That was like 45 something games. It's been very, very interesting and eye-opening, mostly to the aspect of like, wow, skating games were really bad up until Tony Hawk for the most part.
They sure were.
They sure were bad.
I did see the one that you had that was like, this one's actually kind of okay. Why didn't I hear about this? When did it come out? Oh, a month before Tony Hawk? Oops.
Yeah.
Or like a month
Yep,
after
whoops.
or something? And it was
That
like,
would do it.
oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Like, if
it
you're
just
working in
got
that Tony Hawk
buried.
zone, it's just over. Your existence got erased. And so it's like, dang, I'm so sorry that happened to you all.
Because that one was okay. That one was fine.
Yeah,
But
I was liking it.
You got to make sure to go to twitch.tv/Ryyudo, RYYUDO/subscribe for the low cost of $5.99 a month.
dare
You
you.
can subscribe and get cool emotes and support a good friend. I guess that's it for this week. This was a hell of a film. I had a good time.
This,
Like,
I want to end
yeah.
this on saying that I felt like if we were to make a movie, it would have all this energy. It has the energy of just like a bunch of dipshit friends that had like a weekend or two free and went, do you want to make a movie? Let's just fucking throw some shit together. And it's wild to me that they had like Paul Walker and Denise Richards and like actual budget for gore and stuff. Like it's kind of wild. This is a real strange thing that came together. It's magical.
Especially in comparison to our movie we watched last week, where they had 3 years to make that. So,
Ooh.
Theodore Rex, not as good, I would say.
It is as wild, but in all of the negative ways.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I found, you're never gonna believe this, a tiny little T-Rex like plastic doll fell off the back of a truck. And it does say please return to this address, but I think we can shoot a movie with it if we really rush, so
Yeah.
do you want to?
I got a
Yeah.
corpse downstairs I can take the brain out of and we can...
That'll help a lot.
Get out of the way, Byron.
Leave him alone, Dad. That's my friend's brain in that dinosaur.
Get in the goddamn car.